Have you ever wondered how many image types you can get from one location? Well, that's what I'm going to try and achieve with this video. Hi, and welcome to this video. Today I am in a location where I've been planning that I can get the moon rising behind a wind farm and also get a great sunset. Both are only about 40 minutes apart. I'm set up on the beach now. I've got my camera pointed at the wind farm on the ridgeline. Let me just spin around and you can see the ridgeline is along there. There's an entire bank of windmills right up on the top. So the moon should rise directly behind those. So I've set it up on the tripod. Once it rises, I've probably got about 30 minutes, 40 minutes before it rises. So I've got plenty of time. I'm on the beach. It's not much wind, which is good. That means there's no sand getting on any of my equipment, which is brilliant, and no spray from the sea. So that's absolutely awesome. And one of the reasons for planning this particular time of day when the moonrise and the sunset are so close is because this is about during the daylight when you're going to get the moon as full as possible. It's not going to be a black background for this moon. What we're going to get is the darker blues of the skies coming through. So we're going to get a really nice contrast rather than that black and white or black and grey as often moonrise shots are. What we're really looking at here is we should have a blue sky in the background. I do have my 100 to 400 on. I really want to zoom in. On my APS-C sensor, that gives me probably a reach of about 640mm on this one. And one of the third features whilst I'm here on this location, we have in the distance the Sierra Nevada mountains. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to very quickly, whilst I'm waiting, I've got about 30 minutes for the moon to come up, I'm going to very quickly get a panorama of this. So enjoy this image and then we'll be ready for the moonrise. And I've just realised in all my calculations, because the moon is rising, but it's rising behind the mountains that the wind farm actually sit on. So I've probably got about 10 to 15 minutes before the moon actually comes behind the wind farm. And that means that it'll be almost exactly the same time as the sun sets behind me. Fingers crossed, the sun won't set before the moon comes up, but I've been looking at all of the planning tools and it looks like it's going to be a really spectacular moonrise. In terms of the settings, I've set it at ISO 100, tripod mounted, so that I've got a nice lack of noise in the image. This camera's fantastic for that, by the way. I've set it at f10. The shutter speed at the moment is about 1/160th of a second. I don't expect that to change as the moon comes up. The sky's not going to get any darker than it is at the moment. And it looks like it's going to be a really close run thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritise the moon over the sunset because, as you know from some of my other sunset videos, what you'll notice is that quite often the best light is behind the sun anyway. So these mountains that I'm facing are going to really catch the last rays of sun. That's got about 10 minutes. And then also there's some lovely clouds on the horizon and they are going to be underlit after the sun has set. So even though the moon will rise at the same time as the sun sets for me, actually we're going to get some great post-sunset images as well. And whilst I'm waiting for the moon, because the sun is just getting really low now, it's behind some palm trees behind me on the beach. Absolutely spectacular. I'm just going to catch some images. I've decided what I'm actually going to do is leave the camera. I'm keeping looking behind me for the moon. I'm going to keep the camera on my 100 to 400 lens. I really want to make sure that we get a really good set of images with that. And the silhouettes of those palm trees in the distance with the sun behind, absolutely spectacular. I love those images. I'm going to do one completely zoomed in as well. I'm right up at the 400 end of this lens. I'm going to shut it right down. Just checking the moon's not coming up yet. Just really quickly, shut it right down. Sun behind the palm trees. Absolutely brilliant. Just enjoy these quick images whilst we wait for the moon. Well, the moon's supposed to be up. The sun has just set and there's some fantastic clouds on the horizon. So hopefully those will make up for it. But the moon should have risen, but it's not risen yet. And it's just coming up. Oh my word. Absolutely amazing. Let's capture this. I've got it at F10, 1/8 of a second, but that'll give me a little bit of movement. I was just about to bail out. That is absolutely spectacular. I've just missed the wind farm by meters. How frustrating is that? But I think that this will give me some great images. And you know, as I always say, gives me an excuse to come back. And if you are enjoying this video, by the way, whilst I capture even more of these images, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Your support for the channel is massively appreciated. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. The moon has a fantastic orange glow. Actually, let me pick the camera up whilst I just capture these, and then we'll take a little look at the gallery. But hopefully you can see this coming up. Let me have a look. There, you can just see it in the distance. Beautiful amber orange glow to it. Absolutely stunning. And then I'll try and get some post-sunset images. You can see there the kind of shots and the zoom in that I'm getting with this. It's just a fine mist in front of the moon now. Absolutely amazing. This was well worth planning and waiting for. Please enjoy the gallery. Remember to hit that subscribe and like button. Your support is massive. And in the gallery, I'll also include some of the images that I will capture of the sunset that is now behind me. The sun has actually set. There's some fantastic clouds on the horizon. Planning for this was well worth it. Please remember to check out my channel for some of the other videos that you may be interested in as well. And I'll put some in the description below. So really, really thank you for your time in watching this. And until next time, thank you very much and goodbye.